Nation of Fit in 10, welcome to day 36. We are officially into the halfway point of this challenge now, the second half, and fourth round of check-ins is coming up here this week. And as I mentioned, last week was the week where I said you will not quit. Obviously, this week you're not going to quit either, but the fifth week is typically the week where I start to see major downfall in people's well, I guess you could say accountability, really. I start to see less of the food entries coming in and less of your feedback. And it's just, after about 4 weeks, people start to get tired and they start to, lay off a little bit of it. So if that's you, I'm going to encourage you to get back on the horse and keep going. As you can see, this challenge goes by super fast, and if you can hang in there and keep up with these points of accountability, you will do better in this challenge. I 100% guarantee you this. It will force you, as soon as you start doing these things, you're going to feel more enticed and more, maybe for lack of better words, motivated. That probably doesn't describe it right, but you're going to feel more, I was going to say obligated. You're going to feel like it's just, from a point of accountability, you're going to feel like you have a greater responsibility to your diet and exercise if you have to communicate with me. So keep doing that. Which brings me to this person's feedback of the week. They asked, this is under, is there anything you would like me to cover in this week's video series? And that is motivation. They just wrote motivation. So you will never be able to be motivated all the time. It just doesn't happen. I'm not motivated all the time. Nobody's motivated all the time. What we have to do is we have to figure out what is it that we are going to do. So for example, what is our goal? Okay, how are we going to go about trying to achieve that goal? Specifically, what are we going to do? So in the case of this challenge, you know the things that I've set out for you specifically. And now it's a matter of setting up those things so that you accomplish them. So what's the first thing I've said? When it comes to your exercise or food planning, what do you have to do? You have to schedule this in your calendar. Make it an appointment. Make time for it and make sure you do it. And at the end of the day, it's just simply a choice of doing it or not doing it. So you might say, well, what's going to motivate me? What's going to switch my mind to feeling like I want to do it more, right? Because I'm assuming that's what you want. You want to feel like you want to do it in the moment. But really what you have to ask yourself is, do you want the specific outcome? Yes. Okay. Do you want to work towards this goal? Yes. Okay. Well, that's not going to happen just by wanting it. There are things you have to do. What do I have to do? Well, specifically, we know what that is. So it's a matter of doing it. Now, if you have a hard time doing it, my suggestion for you is to always do it first thing in the morning. That is the time where you will feel the freshest and the most, I don't want to say the most motivated, but you will have the least amount of reluctance to do something. Okay, as the day goes on, you're going to get more tired. You've probably accomplished other things in the day. You're probably looking for some things that are not really work related, right? And probably exercise is not going to be one of those things that you're going to want to do, okay? Or you're going to feel like doing. Do it first thing in the morning. You get up, give yourself a chance to wake up, maybe shower, make sure you hydrate. The most important thing, hydration, talked about this yesterday, water and salts, or water and electrolytes, Electrolytes XL by ATP Labs. I carry this. This is something I use in the morning, among other things. Hydrate and then start exercising, whether it's cardio or it's weights. Okay, when it comes to food, this is probably going to be something that's easier, at least in the sense of making it in advance, because it's not so work involved. I mean, it is work, but it's not, it's not demanding a lot of energy from you. And I'm sure you can make it fun, especially if you have recipes or foods that you like to make. Just make sure that you set some time aside and that you're not scrambling last minute for food, okay? But motivation is just something that's not always going to be there. Yeah, you're going to have times where you're motivated. Yes, you're going to maybe hear a song that motivates you, or you're going to read a story or you're about somebody, or you're going to, maybe see the physique of somebody who's I don't know, in a magazine or in social media or something, that might motivate you temporarily. But ultimately, we have to look at, what are we trying to achieve? Okay, what do I have to do for that? And then not think about it any further than that. But as I mentioned, if there's one time to get especially exercise done, do it first thing in the morning. I'm telling you right now. I struggle, yes I do, and you've probably heard me say this before already because I've talked about this in other videos. I struggle with doing cardio, especially like steady state. I actually enjoy interval, short bursts. That's easier for me. But getting on a bike or something for half an hour and just steady state is just painful. It is so painful for me. And so I will do this first thing in the morning just to get it over with and done with, and I have the least amount of reluctance to do, or I have the least amount of reluctance in general towards things that I struggle with in the morning. So, okay, take that into consideration. All right, 6 minutes here. All right, let's move along here. So let's talk about, this person writes, you commented on the use of oils and that seed oils are not good choices for cooking because of their heating temperature. Can you please explain that some more? Which oils are good for which oils are good for what type of foods? Example, cooking and not cooking. Okay, well, all right, so there's two things here really. There are a lot of oils that you can cook with, and there are oils that have high smoke points. That is, they don't go rancid, they don't start burning up and actually causing smoke. They don't start smoking until high temperature. And a lot of these are seed oils, but we don't want seed oils because, typically speaking, and I'm speaking specifically about seed oils. Seed oils have to go through a very arduous number of steps in order to extract the oil out of the seed, and this involves heating. It involves certain extraction chemicals like hexane. There's a lot that goes into it, and as a result, there's a lot that gets added to the oil, and there's a lot of byproducts that get created within the oil. So even though some of these oils might be okay for cooking, like canola oil, for example, it's got a very high smoke point, but it's not an oil we want to use. So when it comes to oils, really good cooking oils, extra virgin olive oil is very good. Avocado oil is very good. And ghee is very good as well. Okay, those are three. Coconut oil is not bad. And let me see, I've actually got a list. Just bear with me here. I do have a list of oils here. I should have pulled this up earlier. What else can I see here? Okay, so I've got it right here. Lard is not bad either. Okay, so those would basically be the oils that I would suggest. Okay, now there are things out there like sunflower oil, and as I mentioned, canola oil, etc., grapeseed oil. These things have higher smoke points, but they're not oils I suggest using, just because they're not good oils. Okay, they're highly polyunsaturated, they're very unstable, which means they're not really good for us because they've just got a lot of double bonds, which just basically means they are more reactive. For cooking, they're okay, but in general for your health, they're not. So again, when it comes to cooking, I would use either avocado or extra virgin olive oil, ghee, or coconut oil. Okay, those are the four I would recommend. All right, let me get the message of the day. I know I didn't finish this question because you're asking about just, for example, say oils that you're going to use on a salad. So I'll get to that maybe tomorrow, or just whatever in baking, perhaps, things that aren't going to be heated, or oils that you're not going to heat. Message of the day on this day 36, the very first day of the second half. And today's message is the following. And this is really, really important. In fact, I've had people leave the challenge because of this. So I want to remind you that taking care of yourself is an essential part of taking care of others. So if you feel guilty about putting in the effort that you are into yourself, just remember that you have to be able to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. Really, if you don't take care of yourself, if you're unhappy with yourself, if you're depressed with yourself, you can't possibly take care of other people well. It has to start with yourself. It doesn't mean you have to be fully immersed in yourself, 24 hours a day, but certainly you want to make sure you can take care of yourself. Give yourself the energy. Give yourself, enrich yourself with that inner happiness of taking care of yourself, and then that way you can better take care of others. Okay, there's nothing wrong with wanting to take care of yourself. Nothing wrong at all. In fact, we should. It should be part of our responsibility to ourselves. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself. For the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.